A struggling delivery worker, Jong-soo, reconnects with a childhood neighbor and spends one passionate night with her before she leaves for Africa, only to return with a wealthy, enigmatic stranger named Ben, who casually talks about burning down greenhouses as a hobby. When the woman vanishes without a trace and Ben hints that his next target is closer than anyone realizes, Jong-soo descends into obsessive paranoia, searching desperately for literal greenhouses, while the chilling truth hides in plain sight. In this slow-burning psychological thriller, a struggling writer learns too late that some predators don't hunt in shadows. They smile politely, collect trophies, and erase those society has already forgotten, knowing no one will ever come looking for the abandoned and unwanted. If you think this is just a love triangle, you're already being misled. Stay with this story until the very end, because the real crime isn't what you see burn, it's who disappears without a trace. Watch closely, question every smile, and decide for yourself. Was Jong-soo uncovering the truth, or becoming the monster he was chasing? Lee Jong-soo is a struggling young man in Seoul with dreams of becoming a writer. For now, he survives by working as a delivery guy just to get by. During one of his deliveries, Jong-soo runs into Shin Hae-mi, a childhood neighbor and classmate, at a promotion event. At first, he does not recognize her. She explains that she has had plastic surgery. Hae-mi encourages Jong-soo to participate in the promotion. He ends up winning a pink wristwatch. She convinces him to give it to her, since he doesn't have a girlfriend and it's meant for a woman. They retreat to a hidden corner, smoking and talking. Afterward, they leave and head to a nearby restaurant. They spend time catching up on the years they missed. Hae-mi does most of the talking. Jong-soo listens quietly. She tells him about her plans to travel to Africa and asks him to take care of her cat, Boyle, while she is away. Jong-soo accepts without hesitation. As the moment continues, he steps away to pay the bill. When he returns, Hae-mi has fallen asleep. He gently wakes her, and she suggests they go back to her place. Her apartment reveals a different reality. Despite her polished appearance, she lives in a cramped studio apartment that she never bothers to keep in order. The space is dim. Sunlight enters only once a day, briefly reflected from a nearby television tower. When the light fades, the room quickly darkens. Hae-mi calls out for her cat, but it doesn't appear or make a sound. She explains that Boyle usually hides when strangers are around. She then shows Jong-soo where the cat food is kept and explains how to feed him while she is gone. Hae-mi suddenly leans in and kisses him. Jong-soo hesitates for a moment, then responds. Eager but clearly nervous, they end up sleeping together. During the moment, Jong-soo keeps scanning the room, quietly taking everything in as if trying to commit it to memory. Back home, Jong-soo's life takes an unexpected turn. His father runs a cattle farm in Paju, a rural area about 30 minutes northwest of Seoul. The old man gets into trouble with the law. A heated argument with a neighbor spirals out of control. Jong-soo's father had lost his temper and attacked the man, landing him behind bars for assault. Jong-soo has no choice but to return to the farm. He needs to manage things while his father's case is being heard. But he made a promise to Hae-mi, and he intends to keep it. Every few days, Jong-soo drives from Paju into Seoul to feed Hae-mi's cat. Strangely, he never actually sees the animal, not once, but the evidence is there. He checks the litter box tucked under her bed and finds fresh waste each time. Jong-soo starts spending more time in her space than necessary. He looks at her photographs and thinks about the night they spent together. The longing becomes overwhelming. He begins pleasuring himself in her apartment, surrounded by reminders of her. It becomes a routine, a way to feel close to her while she's thousands of miles away. Then Hae-mi calls. Her voice sounds exhausted. She tells him there was a bombing near Nairobi airport and that she's been stuck there for 3 days. The whole situation is a nightmare, but she's coming home the next day. Jong-soo lights up at the news. He's genuinely missed her and eager to see her again, but nothing prepares him for the unexpected turn of events. The next day, Jong-soo drives to the airport with excitement building in his chest. At the airport, his smile fades when he sees Hae-mi walking toward him, accompanied by Ben, a guy she met during the crisis in Nairobi. Hae-mi eagerly suggests they all go to dinner, and Ben mentions a good restaurant. As they walk, Hae-mi's attachment to Ben is obvious, leaving Jong-soo feeling like an outsider, trailing behind with their luggage. He silently endures the humiliation. During dinner, Haemi becomes emotional and suddenly bursts into tears. Ben scoffs, saying he has never cried for any reason, no matter how strong the emotions are. His condescending behavior stirs a quiet rage in Jong-soo. Polite on the surface but fuming inside, Jong-soo asks Ben what he does for a living, but he gives a vague answer. Later, Ben picks up the bills, and Jong-soo can't help but notice the smug, insincere smile he wears, one that exudes a chilling sociopathic calmness. Outside, Ben asks Jong-soo if he'll drop Hae-mi off. Despite wanting to, Jong-soo, eager to avoid more awkwardness, politely suggests Ben go ahead and take her. After all, it's getting late, and his place is far away. Deep down, he's heartbroken and filled with jealousy, especially as Hae-mi doesn't even seem to acknowledge him. But he holds it in, masking his hurt with a forced smile as their car drives off. The next day, Hae-mi invites Jong-soo out for coffee. He hurriedly gets ready and drives off, arriving at the cafe early. But the moment he steps inside, his optimism collapses. Ben is there too. Throughout their time together, Hae-mi's attention is completely fixed on Ben. Jong-soo sits across from them, watching quietly. They touch and hold each other, laughing at moments he is not part of. Jong-soo fades into the background once again, reduced to a silent observer. When they are about to leave, Ben invites them over and offers to cook them dinner. Hae-mi loves the idea, and Jong-soo tags along despite his skepticism. When they arrive at Ben's house, Jong-soo marvels at its beauty. Ben heads to the kitchen and immediately starts making dinner himself, while Hae-mi keeps him company. Jong-soo, feeling increasingly out of place, scans the living room, taking in its aesthetics. Bored, he excuses himself and heads to the bathroom. Curiosity gets the better of him, and he opens a cabinet. Inside, he finds a cosmetic box with an array of neatly stacked cosmetics, and in one of the drawers, a vast collection of women's jewelry. Ben and Hae-mi invite Jong-soo to go clubbing with some friends later that week. Jong-soo feels completely out of place the moment he walks in, as everyone looks like they stepped out of a fashion magazine. Everything about him screams that he doesn't belong. But Hae-mi is thriving. She's excited to be here. She talks excitedly about her trip to Africa. She wants to impress Ben's friends. She even demonstrates some of the tribal dances she learned. Jong-soo watches the faces of Ben's friends. They're not impressed. They're mocking her behind their polite smiles, and Jong-soo feels embarrassed on her behalf. While she's lost in her performance, Jong-soo notices Ben yawning out of boredom and lack of interest, which makes him extremely uncomfortable. Later, they all make their way to the dance floor. The next day, while working in the farm, Jong-soo receives a call from Hae-mi informing him that she and Ben are on their way to visit him. Jong-soo scrambles to get ready. He tries to make the place presentable. Moments later, Ben and Hae-mi pull up. Ben steps out looking effortless. Jong-soo welcomes them and sets up a chair outside. Hae-mi scans the area and recalls something from their childhood, when she fell into a well as a young girl, but Jong-soo does not remember anything like that ever happening. They sit outside, watching the sunset while drinking the expensive wine Ben brought. Ben then brings out cannabis and offers it to both Hae-mi and Jong-soo. Even though it's his first time, Jong-soo doesn't refuse. Since Hae-mi takes some, he follows along and takes a puff, immediately coughing. After a few puffs, Hae-mi starts giggling uncontrollably. She stands up and slowly walks away, as if drawn toward the sun. Her body begins to sway, as though hypnotized. Without warning, she pulls off her shirt. The alcohol and cannabis have completely taken hold of her. Moments later, she collapses. Jong-soo and Ben carry her inside and lay her on the couch to rest. Left alone together, the men's sparse conversation drifts into unsettling territory. Ben casually tells Jong-soo that every 2 months, he burns down a greenhouse. He calls it a hobby, something he does to satisfy a destructive urge within him. He explains his reasoning. The greenhouses are abandoned. No one cares about them anymore. Even if he burns them down, nobody will notice. Jong-soo questions this certainty. He argues that if anyone truly cared, they wouldn't leave the place to rot without tending to it. Jong-soo can't wrap his head around this way of thinking and the kind of person he is. When Jong-soo asks about the timing of the next burning, Ben calmly says it will be very soon, one closer than Jong-soo thinks. The remark leaves Jong-soo deeply unsettled. When Hae-mi wakes up, Jong-soo quietly chides him for going topless in front of men, like a whore. The words hit her hard. She doesn't say a word, she just walks straight to Ben's car and they drive off. Jong-soo wakes up the next morning with a hangover. Ben's words echo relentlessly in his mind. He steps outside into the front yard and sees Ben's lighter on the table. Jong-soo picks it up. From then on, he keeps watch around the neighborhood, listening and looking for any sign of a greenhouse burning down. Nothing happens, so he starts searching. He drives around the area, checking every greenhouse he can find one by one. All of them remain intact. None have burned. Then his phone rings. It's Hae-mi. Jong-soo answers immediately, but she doesn't speak. Instead, he hears frantic noises on the line, followed by a loud thumping sound. The call ends abruptly. Jong-soo calls back at once, but her line is unreachable. Panic sets in. She hasn't been answering his calls since. He drives straight to her apartment and pounds on the door when the password doesn't work. Desperate, he convinces the landlady to let him inside so he can feed Hae-mi's cat. The landlady tells him there is no cat. Pets aren't allowed in the building. When the door opens, Jong-soo is stunned. The apartment is unusually clean and neatly arranged. Hae-mi's suitcase sits quietly in a corner. Every trace of the cat is gone. Jong-soo tracks down Hae-mi's boss and asks about her. The boss says she hasn't showed up for some days. He asserts that Hae-mi disappears sometimes, maybe because of her debts. He has no other options left. He also tracks down Hae-mi's family to their noodle shop and learns that they have cut her off due to her indebtedness just to fund her lifestyle, and they are ignorant of her whereabouts and could care less. With no other option left, Jong-soo begins stalking outside Ben's apartment in Gangnam. On the first day, he follows Ben to a restaurant. He pretends he was just driving by, sees Ben's car parked outside, and decides to stop in. Instead of asking about Hae-mi, Jong-soo brings up the greenhouse. He asks if Ben has burned one. Ben smiles and calmly says he has. 2 days after they left the house, Jong-soo is thrown off. He knows there are no burned greenhouses anywhere in the area. He searched every single one. If any had gone up in flames, he would have seen or heard something. The thought unsettles him. At this point, he isn't even sure Ben is talking about an actual greenhouse. Then Ben leans in and tells him it's too close, so close that Jong-soo might not see it at all. As Ben leaves with his newest catch, Jong-soo asks if Ben has seen or heard from Hae-mi, wondering if she mentioned going on a trip. Ben says he hasn't heard from her. He doubts she's traveling anyway, she couldn't afford it. He adds that Hae-mi once said Jong-soo was the only person she trusted, the only one who truly cared about her. Ben admits the comment made him jealous, for the first time in his life. Jong-soo grows more confused and paranoid. He spends his days running around the area, searching for a burning greenhouse like a man possessed, but he sees nothing. Frustrated, he resumes staking out Ben's apartment, following him everywhere: restaurants, shopping trips, the gym. He watches Ben live his life as if Hae-mi never existed. One evening, Jong-soo sits parked outside Ben's building, waiting as usual. His phone rings. It's Ben. His heart leaps. Ben has noticed the truck and wants to confirm if it's him. Realizing he's been spotted, Jong-soo improvises, claiming he came to talk about Hae-mi. Ben invites him in. He mentions having friends over and casually adds that he now owns a cat, a stray he rescued. It surprises Jong-soo. Ben has never struck him as a pet person. From what Jong-soo has seen, Ben doesn't care about anything or anyone. Jong-soo excuses himself to use the bathroom. Once inside, he opens the same cabinets and drawers he had inspected last time and finds the pink watch he gave Hae-mi at that promotion event. His mind races with fear and confusion. Suddenly, he hears a noise outside the bathroom. Stepping out cautiously, he discovers the cat has escaped when one of Ben's friends had opened the door. The three of them begin searching together. Jong-soo finds the cat in the garage downstairs. He approaches carefully, trying to call it without scaring it. To his surprise, when he calls it Boyle, the cat runs straight into his arms. He maintains his composure as Ben steps forward to take the cat from him. They return to the house for the gathering. Ben's new companion is there, young and lively, speaking enthusiastically about her interests. Her energy painfully reminds Jong-soo of Hae-mi, the same naivety, the same desperate need to impress Ben's wealthy friends. Ben yawns openly while she talks. He's already bored. Then he looks directly at Jong-soo across the room and smiles. Jong-soo can't stand it any longer. The rage he's been holding back boils over. He gets up and leaves abruptly. Ben follows him outside, curious why he's walking off. He reminds Jong-soo that he wanted to talk about Hae-mi, but he responds coldly that there's no need and drives off. Jong-soo heads to Hae-mi's apartment one last time. He lies on her bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying everything in his mind. Every conversation, every moment. Finally, he gets up and begins writing. He starts the novel he's carried inside him all this time. Then he picks up his phone and calls Ben. He tells him Hae-mi is with him and asks Ben to meet them in the countryside. Ben arrives expecting to see her, but she isn't there. He asks Jong-soo where she is. Without a word, Jong-soo steps closer, pulls out a knife, and drives it into Ben's abdomen before he can react. Ben staggers backward, reaching for his car to escape, but Jong-soo follows and finishes him off. Jong-soo shoves Ben's body into the car, douses it with gasoline, and strips off his blood-stained clothes, tossing them into the car. Using Ben's lighter, he sets the vehicle ablaze. Naked, Jong-soo staggers back to his truck and drives away, as the fire rages behind him. Jong-soo finally understands, too late, the subtext behind Ben's talk of unwanted greenhouses. He wasn't referring to actual greenhouses. It was a metaphor. They're people, poor, forgotten, broken girls. The kind nobody searches for when they disappear. Like Hae-mi, whose family has cut her off and who has no one that truly cares for her. So here's the question you can't escape. Was Jong-soo delivering justice or proving Ben was right all along? If the greenhouses are people society forgets, then who really burned them? And who just watched it happen? Tell me in the comments. Monster, victim, or something far more terrifying. And if this ending shook you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay for the next story where nothing is ever what it seems.